Craig, 2-0 down, 2-2 to end pre-season. You must be happy with the comeback and the intensity of the game going into the season next week.
Yeah, look, we played Dunston last because we tried to anyway. We've done it the last few years because we know it's going to be a proper game. But unfortunately for them, the last 2 years, beaten on a penalty kick in the playoffs 2 years running shows that they're right up there. And look, I've seen the team. And pre-season's about trying things, and we tried to base our pre-season on that this year, where we've played 2 full-time teams the last 2 Tuesdays, and then we want to finish with a proper competitive game today, which we've had. In first half, we just set out to go and press, and it was probably one of them where you end up pressing needlessly, and I thought we could see their goal coming from 35 to 45, because again we tried something different and it's ended up costing us a goal. But second half we tweaked that, because that's football. Again, I'm not going to expect us to play against Ilkeston from 45 minutes onwards. You've got to be compact. So first half we wanted to be pressing intensity. I wasn't happy with the intensity levels from the off against Gateshead, so that's what we set out to do. It's probably bit us a bit, because then when you press for 35 minutes and people are showing that intensity, which I wanted to see, you probably lose your shape a bit, and that's where their goals come from. Look, no taking away from their goal, it was a great bit of play, and they started getting into it because we were big gaps if people don't do it. Second half we changed it a bit. Their second goals come from an error, and then we've got back in the game. But our first goals come from an error, and then our second goal, when you're getting beat, Bud's no better player to head of it, and we get bodies around him, and you get back to 2-2, and that's a proper football match tonight. And look, I'm delighted with the resilience and mentality to show that, because it stands us in good stead for Saturday.
This afternoon we signed Cyril Giroux. Saw glimpses of him tonight. What do you think he can bring?
Exactly. If you're here tonight, you'll see. I think he changed the energy of the game. Again, on a night game, if the pitch doesn't have water on, it's sticky, and then as it gets to night, the pitch becomes a bit wetter. But he's just lively. He's lively, and him and JMO and Nick linked up really well. And it's just about then getting the players in the box. If Nick's coming off at JMO or Cyril, we need bodies in the box, so we need to work on that. But that's what pre-season's about. It's a hard one, because you try things and sometimes it might not look great on the eye. We have players missing. We had everyone back tonight, which is great. Langers has just come back from his holidays. Reese has literally got off the plane, played 70, 80 minutes. Kingy's just come back from his holiday. So that's what it's about. Pre-season Saturday will be different, because like I said, we tried something first half. It worked for 35, but you kind of keep that up for 45. You've got to have a bit of something about you. Got to have a look at different things. We've had a look at different things tonight and Tuesday, and it's about getting it right. I've said to the lads there, it's a long season. You can use 5 subs. You're going to be in and out of the team, but you've got to be ready. And our 2 subs came on tonight. Nick and Griggsy got us back in the game.
Going into the season, you've got a bigger crop of players to choose from compared to pretty much the last half of last season. Will the competition hopefully drive the side on?
Yeah, it's got to. Look, we brought 2 in. I said after the Berra game, I think, that we want to bring 4 in. We brought 2 in. We waited for the 2 lads. Dan, fantastic again today, and Cyril came on, exactly what we want from him. So there's our 2 in. We want 2 more. So we'll look for them too. But look, you need competition. We did well last year. We were in a position where we weren't going to go down, we weren't going to go up. So we've saved the club money by running with 12, 13 players. And in the end, it might have bit us a bit when it got to the final. But hey ho, you learn from that. And we've started off, we're still going to only have 16 to 18 players. And competition's got to be. Look, we're lucky because we don't play the first Tuesday, because Widnes have pulled out the league. So we get a little bit of a rest after Ilkeston, because we're probably going to need it, because they're going to be up there, and it's going to be a good barometer of where the season's going to unfold. Last year we got a bit of FC United first game, but it was a tight game, so they're roughly in around the middle. There was a good chance, but Ilkeston's going to be top 8. I'd be very surprised if you're not. So we've got to be on it, and look, we've learned tonight what we wanted to do. It was another test. We set out, we looked at it, we knew it was going to be a hard game. John Mack's going to have Dunston right up there again. I hope they are. I hope they do it this year and come up. But we've got Tuesday, Thursday now to work on some fitness, work on a lot of patterns, work on a lot of play, and hopefully we can put it all together for Saturday against Ilkeston.